In the dimly lit halls of Madrid's Alcazar, on a stifling summer morning in 1665, the air was heavy with incense, mingling with the sharp tang of blood-soaked linens. Beyond thick oak doors, Queen Mariana of Austria was in the throes of a difficult childbirth. This birth was not ordinary. It marked the culmination of nearly 2 centuries of calculated genetic decline, a moment when the Habsburg dynasty's fixation on bloodline purity manifested physically. Mariana was both niece and wife to King Philip IV of Spain, her husband, uncle, and king, 30 years her senior. The child struggling to enter the world would be Charles II of Spain, epitomizing the grotesque consequences of royal inbreeding. Fear permeated the palace walls like damp rot. Courtiers murmured in hushed tones, their silk slippers whispering as they shifted uneasily. They recognized that the Spanish Habsburg lineage teetered on the brink of collapse. Prior heirs, Philip Prospero and Maria Theresa, had died young, unable to sustain their frail bodies. As Queen Mariana's cries rang out, the fate of an empire hung by a thread. Yet the true horror lay not only in this moment, but in the deliberate choices across centuries that led here. Each marriage, each family alliance, was a step toward this inevitable disaster. The story of Charles II is rooted in his ancestry, a tangled family tree more like a web than branches reaching skyward. To understand the tragedy in that Madrid palace, we must trace the Habsburgs' ascent and the methodical unraveling of their genetic legacy. Ascending in the 13th century, the Habsburgs began their genetic gamble in earnest with Emperor Maximilian I in the late 1400s. His motto, Bella Gerent Alii, Tu Felix Austria Nube, let others wage war, you fortunate Austria, marry, defined the family. Marriages were not about love or politics alone, but about consolidating power through bloodlines within the family. Initially, this strategy succeeded brilliantly. Through strategic unions, the Habsburgs amassed territories across Europe. By 1519, the empire under Charles V spanned from Spain to Austria, the Netherlands to Naples, covering vast lands. Despite political success, their genetic foundation began to crack. Charles V was born from a first-cousin marriage. His parents, Philip I of Castile and Joanna of Castile, shared grandparents. Upon abdicating in 1556, Charles divided his vast empire between his son Philip II and his brother Ferdinand I. This division paved the way for intertwining Habsburg lines that spent a century intermarrying. Philip II became the architect of the dynasty's genetic downfall. He married 4 times, prioritizing family unions to preserve dominance. His first wife, Maria Manuela of Portugal, was his first cousin. He married outside the family with Mary I of England and Elizabeth of Valois. However, his 4th marriage in 1570 set a perilous precedent, marrying his niece, Anna of Austria, at age 43. The mathematics of inbreeding are precise and chilling. Each close relative union increased the inbreeding coefficient, raising the odds of inheriting harmful recessive genes. In typical populations, this coefficient is near 0. The early 17th century was a time of great upheaval in the Spanish Empire, and at its center was Philip IV, whose reign from 1621 to 1665 marked a significant period of decline from Spain's imperial zenith. Political and economic troubles contributed to this downfall, but Philip's personal struggles, enhanced by the effects of familial inbreeding, played an undeniable role in shaping his leadership and legacy. Philip IV, a man faced with crippling speech difficulties, faced enormous challenges in communicating with his advisors and diplomats. His health, marred by seizures and fatigue, clouded his ability to make critical decisions that could have altered Spain's trajectory. Yet perhaps his most consequential act was his choice of bride, which significantly shaped the future of the Habsburg dynasty. By the time Philip decided to marry in 1649 at the age of 44, he turned to Mariana of Austria, his own niece and daughter of his sister, Maria Anna, and Emperor Ferdinand III. This decision came after the tragic and untimely death of his son, Prince Balthasar Charles, whom Mariana was originally intended to marry. Despite a 29-year age difference, the prevailing concern was the pure continuity of the Habsburg bloodline. The union with Mariana brought its own set of trials. Raised in the Austrian court, where family line marriages were a norm, Mariana struggled under the pressures of being queen to her uncle. Her frail health, frequent illnesses, and halting speech were reflections of the deep-seated challenges she faced, a legacy that would tragically manifest more intensely in her son. While the couple produced several children, most succumbed early in life, with their surviving daughter Maria Theresa eventually marrying into the French royal family to secure peace. However, Philip Prospero, born in 1657 and hailed as the heir of Spain, was a poignant reminder of the genetic toll of inbreeding. His ill health was evident, as he struggled with basic functions like walking and speaking. Plagued by seizures, he died at the tender age of 4. The mounting pressure on Mariana to deliver a male heir was immense, driven by the Spanish Empire's weakening state. But the close genetic ties between Philip and Mariana stacked the odds against their offspring, leading to severe inherited disorders. When Charles II was born in 1665, both mother and child barely survived the ordeal, but the infant's condition shocked the court. Charles II's physical appearance, marked by a disproportionately large head, weak limbs, and pronounced facial deformities, became emblematic of the Habsburg loss. The infamous HabsburgLip reached its peak with him, complicating even basic functions. His developmental delays were noticeable. He spoke only at an older age, and walking was delayed until much later. With a limited understanding of genetics in the 17th century, court physicians attributed Charles's condition to supernatural factors, reflecting the society's struggle to comprehend the real cause. Modern genetic analysis, however, reveals that Charles II was the inevitable result of relentless intermarriage among Habsburg ancestors, with his genetic inbreeding coefficient substantially higher, ensuring he inherited identical harmful traits. To conceal Charles's limitations, the Spanish court took great pains, arranging crafted portraits and ceremonies while foreign diplomats whispered tales of the Mad King across Europe. Charles's extreme behavioral eccentricities, including drooling, incoherent speech, and seizures, contributed to a view of him as more animal than king. Psychologically, Charles was deeply tormented, trapped within a deteriorating body. His growing paranoia, fueled by fears of poisoning and assassination plots, made his existence agonizing. His fragile condition necessitated a diet of broths and porridges, never able to absorb proper nutrition, leaving him emaciated. The question of an heir drove a marriage crisis. Marriages were essential to the continuity of the monarchy, yet Charles's condition suggested improbable success. In 1679, Charles married Marie-Louise of Orleans, a lively French princess, intending to strengthen Franco-Spanish alliances. But the marriage was not consummated, never producing offspring. Marie-Louise's untimely death at 26 was followed by another unsuccessful marriage to Maria Anna of Neuburg in 1690. Her records describe Charles's paranoia, violent outbursts, and obsessive behaviors, signaling a severe mental decline. Charles II then delved deeper into religious fervor, performing rituals in search of divine favor and fearing curses from invisible enemies. Charles II understood his role as the last Habsburg, a burden that deepened his torment. Despite his limitations, he grasped that his death would spark a continental war. His court was a surreal spectacle. Diplomats reported him drooling through state dinners, oblivious to music or conversation. Governance bypassed him, with advisors and councils wielding real power. Religious fervor dominated, as Charles II and his court sought divine solutions to an earthly catastrophe. The international stakes were immense. European powers monitored Charles II's health, preparing for the inevitable conflict. The French, through Louis XIV's ties, and the Austrian Habsburgs vied for the Spanish throne, while alliances shifted in anticipation of war. Charles II's suffering was not just political, but deeply human. Trapped in a body that failed him, isolated and aware of his inadequacy, he found solace in simple routines: prayer, pets, court entertainments, though his participation was limited. His mother, Mariana, devoted herself to easing his suffering, consulting healers and shielding him from harsh realities. Her own health deteriorated under the strain, marked by nervous disorders and chronic illnesses. The Spanish people, kept in the dark by staged appearances, whispered of a cursed king, weaving tales of witchcraft or divine punishment. Economically, Spain crumbled, corruption flourished, trade faltered, and colonial governance grew chaotic. The military suffered defeats, and the Spanish Inquisition gained influence, blaming the king's condition on spiritual failings. Art and literature reflected this decay, with surreal paintings and stories of madness echoing the court's atmosphere. In his 30s, Charles II's decline accelerated. Seizures grew more frequent, sometimes multiple daily, leaving him unconscious for hours. His speech became unintelligible, his movements dependent on attendance. Paranoia consumed him. He inspected food for poison and trusted only a few servants. His second wife, Maria Anna, withdrew entirely, their marriage a hollow alliance. The court maintained the facade of royal competence, but the charade was crumbling. By his late 30s, Charles II resembled a man in his 70s, emaciated, gray, barely able to walk. His eating difficulties worsened, even liquids caused choking. His mental state unraveled, marked by hallucinations and confusion. The Spanish Empire teetered, with regional governors asserting independence and nobles questioning loyalty. The international crisis peaked as Europe braced for war. Every health scare was reported, every seizure analyzed for its implications. On November 1st, 1700, Charles II died at 34, his body succumbing to a lifetime of genetic torment. His final moments were solitary, attended only by loyal servants, his wife absent. His last words, if any, were lost to his speech impediments. The autopsy revealed a body ravaged by inbreeding, a shrunken brain, malformed organs, an underdeveloped reproductive system, confirming his infertility.